Do you ever feel like you've missed your chance, that you're too old to start something new, to chase a dream, or to completely change your life? We often hear stories of young prodigies, tech billionaires who made it big in their 20s. It's easy to look at them and think, well, that ship has sailed for me. But what if I told you one of the most famous success stories in the world did not even begin until an age when most people are planning their retirement? This is the story of a man who proves, without a doubt, that it is never, ever too late. This is the real story of Colonel Sanders. Most people know the face, the white hair, the goatee, the friendly smile. You see him on buckets of chicken all over the globe. But behind that iconic image is a journey of incredible hardship, relentless failure, and a spirit that simply refused to quit. His story isn't just about fried chicken. It's about the power of human resilience. Harlan Sanders was born way back in 1890. His life was tough from the very beginning. When he was just 5 years old, his father passed away, forcing his mother to go to work to support the family. As the oldest son, Harlan had to step up. He became the primary caregiver for his younger siblings. It was during this time, out of necessity, that he started to cook. He had to learn quickly to feed his brother and sister, and he discovered he had a real knack for it. While other kids were out playing, he was in the kitchen, experimenting with ingredients, perfecting recipes. This early responsibility, born from tragedy, planted a seed that would bloom decades later. As he grew up, Sanders' life was a whirlwind of different jobs. He was a farmhand, a streetcar conductor, a railroad fireman, a steamboat operator. A lawyer, though that career ended after a courtroom brawl with his own clienten. Even a tire salesman, you name it, he probably tried it. But nothing seemed to stick. He would find a job, work hard, and then something would go wrong. He'd get fired, or the business would fail, or he'd just move on to the next thing. It was a long, frustrating cycle of starting over, again and again. Imagine reaching your 40s and 50s, looking back at your life, and seeing a trail of unfinished chapters and failed attempts. Most people would feel defeated. They'd probably settle for whatever they could get, convinced that their best days were behind them. Sanders did find some temporary success running a small motel and a cafe in Corbin, Kentucky. It was there that he started serving his special fried chicken. People loved it. Travelers would go out of their way just to taste it. For a while, it seemed like he had finally found his footing. But then, disaster struck again. A new interstate highway was built, bypassing his town completely. His once bustling roadside cafe became a ghost town overnight. The business he had spent years building was wiped out, almost in an instant. So there he was, at 65 years old, an age when most people are cashing in their pensions, planning fishing trips, and enjoying a well-earned rest. But Harlan Sanders had nothing. His business was gone. He was broke. All he had to his name was a small house, a car, and his very first Social Security check, which amounted to just $105. For many, this would have been the absolute end. A sad final chapter to a life of struggle. But for Colonel Sanders, this was the beginning. He had lost everything, except for one thing he believed in with every fiber of his being: his fried chicken recipe. He knew it was special. He knew people loved it, and he had an idea. It was a crazy, audacious idea for a man his age with no money and no resources. He decided he wasn't going to open another restaurant. Instead, he was going to travel the country and try to sell his recipe to other restaurant owners. He would teach them how to make his chicken. And in return, he would take a small royalty, just a few cents for every piece they sold. So, with that $105 in his pocket, he loaded some cooking supplies and a pressure cooker into the back of his old Ford. He had no team, no investors, no support system. All he had was his unshakable belief in his product. He put on his signature white suit and black string tie, a look he adopted to appear professional and trustworthy, and he hit the road. His life became a grueling routine. He would drive from town to town, walk into a restaurant, and ask to speak to the owner. He'd offer to cook his chicken for them and their staff, right then and there. If they liked it, all he asked for was a partnership. Can you imagine the scene? A 65-year-old man in a crisp white suit, walking into a busy kitchen and claiming he had the best chicken in the world. Many people laughed at him. They thought he was a joke. They told him he was too old, that his idea was foolish. They said no. Over and over and over again. He was rejected not once, not 10 times, not 100 times. He was rejected 1,009 times. Think about that number. 1,009 rejections. Each a no was a door slammed in his face. Each rejection was another night, spent sleeping in the back of his car because he couldn't afford a motel room. He bathed in gas station restrooms. He ate his own chicken. To survive, he was alone, tired, and constantly being told he was a failure. How many of us would have quit after the 10th rejection, the 50th, the 100th? It is almost impossible to comprehend the level of persistence it took to keep going after 1,000 no's. But Sanders did not stop. He believed, he knew that somewhere out there, someone would see what he saw. He just had to find them. He maintained his dignity, always putting on that clean white suit every morning. It was his armor, a symbol of his self-respect and his unwavering confidence in his dream, even when the world gave him every reason to doubt. And then, it happened. After 1,009 rejections, he walked into a restaurant in Salt Lake City, Utah. He made his pitch, cooked his chicken, and the owner, Pete Harmon, took a bite. And he said, yes. That one small word changed everything. It was the crack of light in a lone, dark tunnel. Pete Harmon became the first ever Kentucky Fried Chicken franchisee. That single yes was the spark that ignited a global fire. Soon, another restaurant owner said yes. And another. The word started to spread about this incredible fried chicken. Within just a few years, there were hundreds of KFC locations across the country. Colonel Sanders' persistence had finally paid off, on a scale he probably never even imagined. He wasn't just a retired man with a recipe anymore. He was the founder of a rapidly growing empire. His face, once that of a stranger knocking on kitchen doors, became one of the most recognizable brand icons in history. The story of Colonel Sanders is so powerful because it shatters our preconceived notions about success and age. We live in a culture that worships youth and speed. We're told to find our passion early, to build our careers in our 20s and 30s, and that if we haven't made it by 40, we've somehow failed. Colonel Sanders' life is a testament against that idea. His true life's work didn't even start until he was 65. His success wasn't a stroke of luck. It wasn't about being in the right place at the right time. It was the direct result of pure, unadulterated persistence. It was about showing up, day after day, in the face of overwhelming rejection. It was about believing in himself when no one else did. It was about understanding that failure isn't a final destination, it's just a part of the journey. Every no he heard wasn't an endpoint. It was simply a data point telling him he hadn't found the right person yet. His story teaches us that your past does not have to define your future. It doesn't matter how many times you've failed, how many jobs you've lost, or how many wrong turns you've taken. It's never too late to start again. It's never too late to take that one thing you believe in, that one. You have that one talent, that one recipe on Goalie. All it takes is belief, the patience to endure the no's, and the courage to keep searching for that one yes. Because as Colonel Sanders proved, after 1,000 rejections, a single yes can change the world. So whatever your age, whatever your circumstances, remember this story. Your journey is not over. Your greatest chapter might be the one you haven't even started writing yet. Thanks for watching. If this story inspired you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that proves it as never too late to chase your dreams. See ya in the next one.